Greetings from Florida. Here we're working on a Dodge Ram. Actually, it's a Ram 1500, 2009 to 2012. There's a round cap behind the silver handle. You've got, I believe, a Phillips screw there. You've got, I think, Torx 15 plastic screws all around, plastic. So be careful taking them out. You don't want to strip them too much. You've got to kind of help them out a little bit and then pull out that retainer that the screws go into. You'll find I had a couple issues on this, and you're welcome to fast forward through the problem moments. This is not one of them. And if you find this video helpful, go ahead, like the video, L-I-K-E, like the video. That'll help me a lot and helps other people, such as yourself, find it on YouTube when they're searching for it. And thank you. Personally, if it was mine, I'd probably just lock the window up. And to do that, you can put the you take the door panel off, put the glass up, and just drill a drill bit right through where the cross brace is, and lock it tight to the top, and unplug the motor. It's a back window. I'm willing to bet you don't use it enough. The part is expensive. The regulator is expensive. I think I've got all the retainers popping off the switch, unplugging it. Lifts up. It does lift up. Oh, I forgot to take off that plastic cover right there. That whole black piece is what you're actually replacing. So we're going to be taking everything we need off of that black regulator. The motor, the speaker. The handle is the biggest problem in this thing. The handle is very difficult to change and to get back on. So do what you will with that information. Torx 30s hold the motor on. Comes right off, no big deal. You don't have to remove the outside handle on this, but you will have to remove the latch. We're going to need to take off that round white piece that make sure you have the right one, by the way, before you get started. That round white piece that powers the door lock knobs up and down. And the handle. Here we go. This is going to be a few minutes of your time watching this. If you want to, you can skip ahead. The handle clips into a piece on the regulator, a black plastic piece on the regulator. It is very difficult to get off, very easy to break. Eventually, I do end up taking off the silver cover to it first. Okay, I had trimmed some of the minute to minute of removing the door handle for you. Just so you don't have to spend 2 minutes watching me struggle to get it off. For this, you're on your own. If you can't get it off, I'm sorry. Oh, you have one screw at the top of it. You have one Torx, I believe, 20 or 25 bolt at the top of it. And now I'm prying out the remainder of the piece from the regulator. That was just as challenging. Also, when I put it back on, when you take it off, note where that spring is. there's a spring that keeps it closed and you pull against it. When I put it back on, I could not figure out how to get the spring back on. I did not put the spring back on. Customer was okay with it, but I just want you to be aware. Because once you get that new handle on, or the handle on the new regulator, forget about getting it off, not without breaking the regulator. Rod comes off easily. This rod comes off easily. We're going to turn that white cylinder to get that off. Note the orientation of it. Note how it's put on there so you can put it back on the same way. Now what holds the glass to the regulator inside the door is one black plastic clip with two tabs on it. The tabs need to be pushed in. So you're going to see in a few minutes, I'm taking off all the 10mm bolts all the way around it. What you're going to see in a few minutes is I cut into the panel, which is fine because you're replacing the whole panel. But I cut into the panel so I could go ahead and get the tabs pushed back so I can get the glass up. Now I think I'm going to take off the latch with the Torx 30. Once I realized I needed to take that off. Sometimes you don't, but in a lot of cases on these Chrysler and Jeep products you do. Now, in theory, this should come right out if I can get the regulator bracket off of the glass. And you're going to watch me struggle for a few minutes here. You might want to skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, first I try to just pull it off. Okay, so you'll notice what I did there is I had drilled out holes and then I got access to the black clip right there. You can see the black clip at the bottom of the glass. There's two tabs on there. You got to push in. You should be able to remove it. So now I'm just popping off all of the retainers, the little plastic pieces that keep the wires in place. I'll give you a visual of what you need to see in a minute. The latch is on a full bracket that simply slides out. I guess I could have tilted the camera down a bit. I'm sorry that I didn't. But there it is. Take all the little pieces out of the door. So we're going to slide those two rods back through the holes that they go in. We're going to pop in that bracket into the regulator. Not a big deal. That's pretty easy. There was one rod that went into, I believe, a red clip on the latch from your outside door handle. You're just going to unhook that clip. Put in a few 10mm bolts to hold everything in place while we're working. While I'm doing that, look at the top of the door. You'll see right under there, right under where I just put in that bolt, there's a rectangular piece that requires the retainer from the old regulator. The screw screws into that. So I forgot it. I had to take the panel off and put it back on. It's right under there, to the right and right under there. So remember to pull that off of the old panel. Next thing, before you put the glass in, and by the way, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, don't put the regulator bracket up until you have the glass in it. Sometimes when you do this, it can unspool. So you want to get the motor in first, and then you can push down the glass into the regulator. One more note, a little WD-40 on the two channels, the two up and down channels on the sides that the glass travels in is always a good idea. You don't have to soak it, just give it a... Right now, that's actually some Goo Gone. He had some duct tape. If you ever have to put your window up, try to use the blue or green painter's tape. It doesn't stick as badly. The duct tape leaves a lot of residue. You're welcome to skip past this. I'm just reaching in where the speaker hole is. A little WD-40 on that black clip too isn't a bad idea. Makes it easier to pop into the white clip on the regulator. So now we've got it in, so we're good. I think I'm gonna try it out. Nope, not quite yet. Putting the speaker back. The speaker, I believe, had Torx 20 volts. Screws. And I think you've got this under control. I'm sure I can let you watch the rest of the solo. If you have any questions, please ask them right here on YouTube. I'd be happy to answer them within a day or so. If this was beneficial for you, please like the video. That will help other people, such as yourself, find it on YouTube. And thank you for watching. Have a great week.